He sends
Hi,
his
David.
regards.
Dude,
Oh man, how's everybody doing? The boys, Linda. Yeah.
everybody's pandemified, so
Yeah.
everybody's kind of freaking out and crazy and stressed out and blissful and stressed out again. And it's holiday season, so it's all worse right now because
Yeah.
every plan has been shattered by
Yes.
Omicron.
I'll tell you a nightmare. I spoke to Steve Berlin earlier, and Los Lobos is in New York. They were playing the City Winery, and they got canceled at the last minute.
Everything's fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Radio City is shut down.
Radio City is canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the schools started getting shut down last week, so my grandkids are out of school. I think we're going to see them. They're all tested, and I have to test regularly, so I'm tested. I'm okay. I spent the week and a half, 2 weeks isolated in my own home, away from Linda, Michael, because I had gotten exposed in Brooklyn a few weeks ago. So
really, wow.
And she's diabetic, so we couldn't take this. I'm asthmatic, she's diabetic. We couldn't take any chances, so we just split the house into 2 areas, and it was a drag. Wow. What a fucking bummer. Man.
What a brilliant idea. What a brilliant idea to go away from your wife, though, for a week or two.
I have to be honest about it. I think it's probably better for her to get away from me than me.
Yeah.
Because one of us is a handful, and it's not her.
Laura, I got COVID. I may have to split for 2 weeks. There's something to this. It's not kidding around. I'm a musician. It's 2 years that this has been going on. I have never been home for this long, ever, since I was, I don't even know. God damn, I had that fucking brain surgery, and 3 months later, I was in Germany every other month for 3 months.
I remember,
man. And this is like, I'm in this room. This is where I am. I've just been making record after record after record for people, and then sitting around going, can I go somewhere, man? I was supposed to be in Turkey already.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I really wanted to go to Turkey for last I don't know, it was like 6-7 months ago or something, but nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. I was supposed to start a tour in Portugal like last year, and then this fall do the rest of Europe with this guitar player, this Russian guy, and we had done some gigs a couple of years ago in St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Oh, yeah.
And it went well, and so I was really looking forward to it. And I've been in my room too, David, for 2 years. So I've been making bits and pieces, right? Like I'm trying to learn software and gear and this and this. And so I went to your Bandcamp page just like a couple hours ago, and what you said there is exactly what I'm saying now. Is I just recorded a ton of stuff. I did this and this. Now I can't be in my studio because it's too dangerous, because I just had major back surgery.
Ooh.
Like 5 weeks ago. And so I got to be careful of stands, and so I cleared the office, and I'm just trying to learn software. All I've got is a computer and an iPad. And so I've decided I'm picking up all these bits and pieces. I'm going to try to make a record,
Yeah, I did. I made one. It's done. I made another one with a band, with a bunch of very different people from different parts of the world. And I did it. And then all of a sudden, everybody wanted me to mix their records. So I've been working on other people's records. I did a little film, and I couldn't say no because I have to work or else I go crazy, right? So my own records on the back it's been ready to fucking mix for 5 months, right?
Really?
It's really different. It's really exciting for me, and I haven't gotten back to finishing it. Probably take me a week to finish it if I can get the singer to sing on this one
let me get
track.
Michael caught up. David and his son Elijah have a new release called the Night Cage. It's a board game, real dark and glue. It's like really dark.
It's dark. It's
Yeah,
super dark.
yeah,
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game score, but it's for a board game, which is very
Yeah.
unusual.
Nice.
Yeah, Elijah started it. He knew the filmmaker and the guy who had written the story, and he is a filmmaker, and I think he's actually I never met the guy, but he and Elijah got together. He wanted music. He liked what Elijah was doing electronically. Elijah said, maybe me and my dad could do this thing together. He said, great. So we just, mailing stuff back and forth for a couple of weeks. I sent him a couple of big ideas. I sent a bunch of textures, and he'd ask me for more textures. And then he started writing grooves and kind of like really fucked up dark shit.
Oh, real dark. Yeah.
It's cool. It's pretty fun, and it has a shape, it has an arc to it. So it's not just there's a lot of repetition because it's a game, of course, but then it actually grows and there is kind of a storyline there. It's cool. It's pretty cool.
And
I did a groovy film, Michael, that I can't believe. I don't know if it's ever going to get released. 20-minute film where this Italian director made this 20-minute film. There is no dialogue. There are no humans in it at all. It looks incredible. And she had temped into the score. She had temped a live. I found out my friend Bill Horberg, who's a film producer that I really enjoy working with. He said, I think you should meet this woman, Nava, and would you want to look at this film? And I said, sure. He sent me this film and he goes, it's not what you expect. Whatever you think, it's not what you expect. I watched this 20-minute film. I went, wow, that is fucking beautiful. That's gorgeous. Of course I'll do it. So then he tells me that she temped a live solo gig that I did as her score at her place.
Oh.
And what did I think of that? And I said, which one was it? What gig was it?
Yeah.
And I never said this to her, but he told me what gig it was. And I said, oh man, that gig sucked. Right? And he goes, well, you want to do something different? I said, I'd love to do, like, if she likes that idea, I can do something that's, more to picture, like you do when you're composing for a film. And he said, absolutely. Are you in? I said, well, let's talk to her. Got her on the phone. We started talking a little bit, and I went to town during the pandemic. I got Tim to play some alto on it. Dean Sharp's playing some guided drum parts. I got a alto flute quartet in it.
Wow.
And it's based on guitar and textural stuff that I did before I brought the arrangement forward, right? So I did all that guitar stuff first and then started arranging it to the picture. It's pretty nice. I really kind of dig it. No idea if it's ever going to get released,
Well, it can always be presented at film festivals as a certain kind of film. So,
that's what she's doing. It played in Venice at the Biennale, and she's playing it a couple of places. I think she hoped that somebody would buy it. It's a 20-minute short film with no human beings and no dialogue. So,
oh sure, big market.
Big market.
Yeah. So yeah. Well,
it's
you know what though? I just saw for probably the 100th time that Philip Glass movie,
Cayano Asquatsi.
Yeah. That's incredible too. It's an incredible.
It is, yeah. It's really.
And Tangerine Dream has one out too, of buildings exploding.
There's a lot. a lot of the artists that I'm exploring now, both musically, well, a handful of the artists that I'm exploring, I hear their music and then I go deeper and I realize music's second to them, and really what they do is do visuals and film, and they're making, you know, their own music for their own films, and I'm attracted to it because it's not this or that, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and so I find myself, and the same with drummers who are doing stuff with visuals, or that's really where I want to go anyway. And I've been wanting to go there 30 years, and everything's available now. So I just got to either learn it myself or plug in with these people. You know, there's an amazing site online called seditionart.com.
Okay.
And it's all digital artists, and with limited, you know, short films and limited amount, you can buy them.
Really?
And there's maybe 150 available, right? Or 100. And then when that sells, the price goes up. But I've been collecting a catalog. You can get like $60 or this or that. And I've got like about 20, 25 pieces of art now that it's all just moving, beautiful, subtle visual stuff from artists all over the world. And the reason, I mean, I love that stuff anyway, but what I want to do is put music or sound to these things and then contact the artist and say, hey, let's do something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my idea of jamming nowadays, you know?
I feel lucky that I got people to come up when things were safe. There was a brief period, you know, May, June, something like that, where it was safe, and I had people come up and record on this music. I didn't get to. We did play one live gig. Me and Chess and Craig Taborn and Tim played one gig in New York, and it freaked me out like I couldn't believe. It was great to get out and play, but the club was packed, and I didn't even think. I live in the country. I'm like a hermit or something now, right?
Yeah.
I don't go out. I don't go out. We go to the store, we call, they bring it to the door, you pick it up, and you disappear.
I'm the same. I haven't been out in I got friends that are pissed at me, and they just say I'm paranoid and this and this. And I'm kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm of a certain age. And the thing is, I don't give a fuck. You know, I realize, oh, I kind of like this. So where do I want to live in the world? You know?
And it's great because if you don't go to your house, you can live anywhere and be happy. You know, if you
I know. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were. I think you were on the way. You were close because you mentioned Portugal before, and I have a hard time thinking of a more attractive place to spend later years.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know. My dad passed a few years ago, and he left me and my sister the family home in Fort Lauderdale, and you know, we sold it as quick as we could. And I thought, okay, great, now Linda and I can go to Portugal together and we can look around and see some properties.
Right. Right. I know I subscribe to all these things and everything, but now I'm concerned about Europe in general. And the stuff that's moving on. And I know it's too hot, but the latest place I'm looking at is Merida, Mexico.
Oh.
And it's getting very contemporary. And what you can get, David, for not much is just amazing. But the thing is the heat. And I know I'm terrible in that heat, but I found out I don't care if I go out or not. So
right. It's not funny, but I get it.
Yeah, it's
right.
Like nobody you miss that much that you have to see, right?
I mean, it's funny. The only thing I did in 2 years is I went to my son's wedding in LA about 3 months ago.
Wait, you got married?
Sam got married.
Got married.
Yeah. He actually married his high school sweetheart.
Oh man, if you see Cooper, tell him I'm drinking Cooper's whiskey tonight.
All right. I
Yeah.
will. I texted him. He changed his name. He changed his name to Slater.
Oh, I knew that. I totally spaced.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we hung out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. He'll like that.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell him I'll change the name of the whiskey to Slater's.
So, you guys did 2 albums together?
I think more.
Did
I
we?
think three minimum is what
Wait a
I'd
minute.
say. Yeah, I think because we did Leaving Time with Steve.
Yeah.
I joined you guys.
Yeah.
Then we did
Stiletto?
your record with
You did-
Andy and Isham.
Yeah, you did
and,
Stiletto.
Yeah, we did Stiletto, right? And then we did I think we did that Marty Folk.
Your friend Marty.
Folk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but 2.
David, during this period, I dug out all kinds of old DAT tapes and cassette tapes, and I went crazy. Do you know how many outtakes I have of Stiletto?
A lot?
A lot.
Are there some that you think now are much better than you thought they were before?
Oh, so much stuff that I used to not think anything of. I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? This is why you have not had enough output in your life, because you're so critical, you never put it out. And so I've changed my whole point of view, and I'm going to release all kinds of shit, like maybe on Bandcamp, like you said, you know.
I think it's really not it's a good idea because if no one else is doing it, okay. So up until this point in time, I've had ECM. I don't really feel great about ECM anymore. I don't feel like I have a relationship with the label anymore, and I'm a little hurt by that, but after being there for so long. But the fact is that I'm gonna do fine out with recordings. I'll be okay. It'll be better for me. I control it completely, and you know, I don't get the big marketing shit unless I pay for it. But
Yeah.
but you know, I control the content, and I could have woken up to this years ago when Tony Levin started his label, and he was like really totally 100% into it while we were on the road, and I saw what we were doing. We were making the music that we wanted to make, and it was selling, and Tony was making the money. It was good.
So what do you think of Bandcamp?
I like Bandcamp, and I don't actually have my own page, but I'm supposed to be getting one built I should have started about 2 weeks ago, but I will have one for this new record for sure. Even if it comes out on a label, I'm going to maintain the rights to my Bandcamp sales.
Yeah.
That's there. Maybe there'll be a label, but maybe there won't. I'm not sure I care. I'm not sure I care to be in complicated business with people that don't give a shit about me.
And sometimes
it's not enough money to think that they're doing you a favor, and plus you give up ownership and you give up this. It's like have fun, make the money that's there, and you know.
And like some of my one of my friends, somebody I think you might know, who's working with Spotify now to do curating the playlists. You know, he basically said to me, you should get more actively involved in Spotify. Even he said
they have a whole artist thing now.
Yeah.
He said you'll make money. Eventually you'll make money because you have a base, and you already have millions of plays there. And he said that's cool, but what's going to happen is it's going to take whatever you own at Bandcamp is going to start selling, because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that's the marketing, and people are still buying from artists directly. So
and they have their new. I sent it to you. Elliot, they have their whole new artist platform.
Yeah,
You know, with 2 billion listeners,
yeah.
subscribers. I mean, I'm looking into Spotify as well as Bandcamp for the artist stuff. You know.
Now,
It's a sketchy business, right?
Yeah.
They really came in, they came in at the worst possible time, doing something that was slightly better than being stolen from, but
Yeah.
still stealing from all of us.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, the truth is it's the labels that are stealing from all this because they own it, you know? I mean, they pay the labels and the labels don't pay us. So I'm going to have to check on something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Now,
Is very transparent. They really, they take so little and they do give back, and they want to continue feeding the community. There's something good about that. So I did a record on my friend's label. I have one record on Bandcamp. It's at my friend Tim's label, Screw Gun Records. And
is that what that is? Yeah. Okay.
I was really doubtful. I was doubtful about it, and we put it out, and it sold incredibly well, like really fast. Like it was
really,
it was like, and it made me sit up and go, hey, if you did an album on purpose and you did some marketing, you'll sell more.
Now, Bandcamp also, I think the third Friday of the month, they don't take a commission, right?
That's right.
It all goes to the artist.
Yeah, and the commission is small, and they do surprise artist day. Well,
okay, cool.
So
okay,
there's something cool about it. I really do know a lot of music fans who go there to see what's happening.
Right.
I agree. I find music on there that I really like, and there's so many cool people that I like Amon Tobin and John Hassel put his stuff out there, and
Laswell has a whole army of stuff there,
Oh, does he? Oh,
yeah, tons of stuff. Okay. And Spotify is the close second now, right? They're just kind of getting into the race.
I think my take on it is that I see Spotify as a marketing device because of the things that my friends who work at Spotify tell me is good about it and tell me what is bad about it. And I really do see it as a I was invited to do like a weekly thing on Spotify, and at some point I'm going to do that.
a weekly thing.
Yeah, so Robert Fripp for a while was doing a weekly looping thing. His old Frippertronics thing. He'd do one a week or one every 2 weeks, and crazy amounts of people coming into Spotify to watch Robert hear and watch him do his Spotify thing. And I it was suggested to me that this is a really good idea for you. You just, because I pump out a lot of material in a lot of different styles of music or without style, really style-less music.
Beyond style, yeah, beyond style.
Under script.
Right. So, because, I've got like shit that I wrote for films that'll probably never go into a film that were great demos or I actually orchestrated them and they're done, but I own them, but they never got into the film, and then I own them. So this is crazy what's around, and I really should take advantage of it. I get freaked out because I'm so dedicated to actually being productive that I never want to actually stop and think about this shit. I just don't.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man.
You know what I mean? You just go, no, dude, I got a new idea. I have to pursue this idea. I'm going to write a really strange vocal quartet with 6 violi. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to go, well, you were supposed to call the guy from Bandcamp today. Or I mean, last week. I mean, it's been a month.
Man, I tell you, when I found out that I couldn't go out to my studio, I came into my home office, which was, I swear to God, guys, I should have taken a picture. The whole thing was like piled with paper. Like I still haven't done my taxes. You know what I mean? From the year before, you know, it's like, I don't even open my fucking mail.
Yeah, I
And,
don't either.
but I have everything, all the bills paid automatically.
Right, right.
And so I swear to God, I took 2 days and I cleared it out. And now I've got my nice little computer set up, but I'm getting worse as I get older. It's like,
Oh, no, me too, man. Like Michael, I can't, I have a few students now, and I actually, it's the first time since the beginning of the pandemic where I realized I can't let people come in here. There's no room for anybody. It doesn't even matter if they're a client. There is no room. I'm supposed to do these quartets with my friend Bill, and I'm like, dude, we have to go to an outside studio.
Well, I got this stupid thing behind me because I got a bomb going off behind it.
Oh man, doing a class with American Film Institute. I'm sitting in my room and I'm thinking, oh wait, I hope they can't see anything below my shoulders.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like Daffy Duck, I'm not even wearing pants now.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it's a whole different time. It's scary. But
yeah.
So yeah, but David, I've been listening to the stuff you did with Jack Bruce today too. Some of that stuff, yeah, some of that stuff is crazy.
That was super. That was such a great group with Miroslav Tadic.
Yeah, Miroslav, yeah.
Or also Michael and Mark Nassif playing drums. And
who's playing drums?
Mark Nassif.
Sure, yeah.
My old buddy from upstate New York. German citizen. Man,
incredible stuff. I mean, you guys did the Hendrix tune, Wind Cries Mary.
Yeah, yep.
Just brilliant. And you did the Cream stuff. You did some Cream tunes.
I'm really into. I have to say, I got really deeply into listening to things that started around 1996 or 98, going backwards. I haven't gone past that too far, but I've been listening to a lot of that 96 forward stuff, and the amount of stuff that I've been on. I like a lot of the recent shit. I really do like a lot of it. The heavy band that I'm still nominally in it, but it's a recording band called Saudades or Saudade Music Collective, and that's we did some great heavy shit. Me and Doc from Bad Brains, Gary Miller from Bad Brains, and Mackie from Bad Brains, and that Israeli guy Gil Sharon. If it wasn't a track, Gil Sharon was playing drums. Chuck, the main guy,
my Sharona.
The singer from Deftones, Chelsea Wolfe singing. It was just like, some of it's really good, really good. I really enjoyed that whole. Now, I don't know how many tracks we did.
Michael, you said something the other day when we were at that other meeting that music's connected. Everything's connected somewhere.
I'm just finding that, like yesterday. Well, I got a. What did I get? I got an email talking about somebody on Bandcamp that I follow who won a filmmakers award at a festival, and he's a filmmaker, but he won a music video award. And so I took an hour to delve into him, and then I really loved it. This is the visual stuff. Just a remarkable guy, English guy, and then I read an interview with him, and then from there he said, I've started getting into this guy, and I went to Bandcamp and I found this guy, and what he does is he's one of the great nature recordists in the world.
Right.
For $70, I downloaded his whole digital catalog because I listened to a couple and I bought them. And I said, you know, fuck this. This is like not expensive for this guy's life work. And because I've been looking for in putting together my maybe album, I've been wanting natural sounds and environmental stuff, Foley stuff. I want to start having the natural world in my stuff more. And I just thought, man, this is amazing. And so what I plan on doing is like, I can download the stuff. And so I plan on editing it and putting them into some of my music and then contacting the guy and say, can I use it? Or you want to do something or what? You know, I mean, I'm hungry for these kind of collaborations with these people. I mean, he's done stuff with Richard Attenborough and, you know, Oceans. But I was thinking, David, man, I'd love to do something with you that's really different, maybe for both of us, but to include like, you know, natural world sound, like environmental sounds, and spatial, and you know, drum stuff, but not heavy drum stuff. But I do have this machine now at home, not a machine, a box that I got during the pandemic that means I can record really great drum sounds without an engineer or mics. And it's blowing my mind, like what, you know, I can load my own sounds into it, but it's got like 128 gigs of like great drum sounds, all kinds of stuff. And so I can do that now, you know, and so I guess I'm proposing.
I gotta send you this 20-minute film because what it was, and this is completely resonant with what you're saying, Michael, is what the film was it's nature. She's shooting nature, only nature, all by herself. She never made a film before. She's an operatic director, operatic production manager in Italy. That's what she does, Italy and New York. Never made a film before. She did this thing. And so her soundtrack, because I asked her not to send me the one that she put my music in, it was just the sound of these lakes and all of these birds. The film is called one word, like E.E. Cummings, Water and Birds. And the sound that she recorded herself was so fucking gorgeous that when I started writing, I said to her, do you care? She set up some like wind chimes at some point on the lake. 2 different points in the movie, she had set up wind chimes on this lake with all these amazing birds being shot and recorded. And I said, do you mind if I take the wind chimes and the lake sounds and I actually call that the dialogue, but make it part of the score completely, and that I write with that? I'll write with it on all the time. I won't do anything or it's off. And she said, yeah, you can do that. And I said, but here's the thing. I own the music. So is it okay if I call it part of the music? And she said, absolutely. So that's what I did. And I wrote to the sound of nature. And I never in a million years thought that I would do that. And my friend Bill is he's a really good producer, and he's a fucking great guy. He's the producer that brought me to Lars and the Real Girl, that film. He did
what a beautiful film and music, man.
Yeah, he also did Kite Runner. He did Harvey Milk. He produced the Queen's Gambit for Netflix.
Really?
He's just he's, you know how you don't really meet so many filmmakers who are really, really great people? Well, yeah. Bill is really, really great people. Totally. No reservations. a fucking great guy, unbelievable guy, unreal. And he said, it's just so cool. It was so cool that it happened this way. But I need your email address and I can send you the film because he'll let me. Eliot, maybe you could. This way I can send you both that film. I think it's a really cool score. Really, just can't share it. Just watch it.
Michael, I'll send David our cloud link. He says to drop it in there, and we can both pull it out of there.
Okay, what's in that cloud link?
Your stuff, your music.
Okay.
Okay, or I can open up another one. Whatever's easy.
I'm naked. I'm naked. I'm naked.
Yeah, there you go. We all are.
I'm using Eliot as the depository as I come across stuff, and I'm just saying this is a live gig I did with my friend from Portland who plays percussion and oud and an electronic sax guy and a bass, and I think I want to put this out. And here's something else I did with the trumpet player with effects, and I'm playing all electronics. I think I want to put this out this year. So I'm just feeding him, it's like as a place to go and just say, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, put it on the side.
One of the things that I find really interesting, Michael, these days is that a barrier got broken in filmmaking, and people are using drums, like composed drum playing.
I know it.
As scores, and it's not just in films. It's now in regular network television. There's a TV show that's pretty popular. It's on like some midweek day every night, every week at 10 o'clock at night. And the only music that's in it, there are no songs. The only music that's in it is a guy playing drums. I mean, drums.
What is it? What is it?
Hospital show.
Really?
I call every hospital show St. Elsewhere, so I'm not a good
General Hospital.
General Hospital. That's it.
Yeah.
No, it's I got it. It's New Amsterdam.
Okay.
So
okay.
I sort of feel like there's a space in the universe for really great solo drumming, very musical, very compositional solo drumming that's just good drumming to be held as music. And I know
Antonio Sanchez is doing it, a lot. I mean, Antonio did that film and he won an Oscar for it, but then they took it away. But then he got the Get Shorty on Netflix and scored the whole thing with just drums.
Yeah, he did. He did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really,
yeah.
I think it's a moment. And I think that you probably sit on an unbelievable amount of your own drumming by itself that I'm sure you could think of, you can see it as being compositional. And I think if you can think in 1 minute to 4 or 5 minute blocks of playing, you could pull stuff out of there. And to be frank, I know places where I was invited to partner in a new kind of music library a couple of months ago. It wasn't supposed to happen. There was a friend of mine starting it. He's an executive at a music tech company, and he's also a composer and a guitar player. And he looked at the music libraries and he went, how come all their shit all sounds the same? Like how all the music, all the movie trailers sound the same. And what are these libraries doing? And he started talking to me about it seriously. And the couple months went by and he said, okay, so I've looked into this. I got a lawyer. I think I'm going to start this music library, a new kind of music library. And he described it to me, and I said, it sounds like what you're asking, what you want to do is start a composer's library as opposed to a music library. And he said, yeah, well, how would I do that? And I went, shit, I'm really busy, man. We could be on the phone for like fucking hours if we start talking this stuff.
And so I started spinning some ideas at him, and he'd come back to me with stuff, and I'd go, "No, you can't do that. Can't work that way." And he started picking composers, and I said, "No, it's got to be broader than that. It's got to be. It can't be all guitar players. It can't be people all over 50. There have to be women. There really needs to be representation from every race in America, in the world. Everybody's got to be there, because they're not hard to find. Composers who can do stuff at home and have it be worthy of a film." And he said, "Well, how would you do it?" And I said, "Well, I think you just go to the composers and say, you can write whatever the fuck you want. 1 minute to 3 minutes long. I don't care what it is. If you can imagine it honestly and sincerely as a piece that you wish were in a kind of film, and you can do 5 pieces like that, no matter what kind of film you think it is, but you honestly get an idea of how it would be in a film, whether it's with dialogue or in a certain kind of place or whatever." And Barry went, "Wow, this would be great if we could do that." And I said, "Okay, well," he said, "do you know people?" And I said, "Yeah, I know people. It'll be endless if you ask me."
Yeah. I know everybody. Yeah.
I know so many people who are so talented in so many different parts of music in the world. And so we started putting together just for the presentation, we put together a limited number, which kept growing, and people are throwing stuff at us. Barry himself got a really good deal with a really big distributor. We're going to make a presentation to them in January or February of everything that we have so far, so they get the idea. And it's a great deal for the composers. I don't think there's another deal in library music even remotely as good as this. You get I maybe shouldn't talk about this too much in public, but
Do you guys know Morgan Fisher, the keyboard player?
no.
Oh, wait, Eliot. I want to hear more about this from David.
Well, yeah, I know before that, but Morgan has 2 albums out called Miniatures. And what he did was he collected, it had to be under 60 seconds by all of these great artists, and he put them on compilation albums. Hector Zazu, the guys from XTC, they all put something on it. Kevin Coyne, these great artists, and it's what you're talking about.
This is basically, that's functionally the idea, but it's being posed as a competitor to the typical music libraries that everyone in Hollywood goes to. I mean, not just Hollywood; it's around the world. So So the idea was to present stuff that composers wanted to present. So Michael, the collection of stuff that's there now is unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. I mean, do you remember Hugh Marsh, the violinist from Toronto, electronics and violin?
No, I should, huh?
Yeah, he was in Bruce Coburn's band, and he's done 1 million Hans Zimmer scores. I think he's unbelievable talent. Dougie Bound, you know Dougie, right?
Yeah.
The drummer Dougie. He's also writing for film. So we got a bunch of people who have already done films, and a lot of young people, and it's really lively. I can't believe it. I think I got this feeling like when I was starting to curate the material, it was coming into me. I was going, this is too good. This is way too good to succeed.
Oh my God. And so you said it wasn't meant to be. What happened?
Well, no, it is meant to be. There's a deal on paper. We just have to do the presentation. That means collecting everything together, me and Barry choosing what's going into the presentation, and then we go make the presentation. But the contract is already, all the major points, as far as I know, the major points of the contract are already agreed to. So
who's the contract with?
It's with a big a library company whom I won't name until it goes on.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. It's
And
another
there's
library company.
and there's another company in the background as well that's an off chance, but it's a good chance because I'm connected to somebody who's one of the executive vice presidents there. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty cool, and I think if you don't do anything else with some of your solo drumming stuff or solo drumming with electronics, if you can think in that mode after January when it's happening, I'll say, please, if you want to do this, I'll show you the deal. Straightforward. You know, you don't have to work at it. Right.
I've got a lot of stuff, David. I've got a lot of stuff on
No.
film. And not only that, I found cassette tapes from 1972, 1973, where I had my roadie record every drum solo I played with Santana. And that's when I was like smoking. And so I can get those cleaned up now and cut out bits and pieces, you know, into 1 minute segments or this or that or whatever.
Oh no, that's Santana shit. That's history though. You should do something special with that. Man, I would make a record for drummers of drummers.
The Santana solos, man. That's
man.
Yeah.
That'd be,
Well, that's when I was kind of peaking around 73. And you know, I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, I can't play like I used to play, but it doesn't mean I don't have the wisdom, you know, or this or that. And the rhythm doesn't leave you, you know, which is why I'm trying to learn the software. But yeah, I should put that stuff out somehow in some kind of package, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that, you know, maybe your kids would do it anyway when you're gone, but that's really legacy kind of material, Michael.
No, the kids aren't going to do it. And when I'm thinking of releasing this old stuff, like these gigs and everything, is like a legacy. I'm going to name legacy, and so there'll be a distinct thing. Like, this is some old shit, but I think you're going to like it. You know. When you met Tim in Seattle, Tim was like, "That's Michael Shrieve. That's Michael Shrieve. He played the drum solo at that Santana thing in Woodstock." And I went, "That's Michael. It's him." He goes, "That's him right there. That's him." I'm like, "Yeah." Dude.
Well, we met a guy last week who's still in awe, Vilvaris. He called me the other day. I can't believe I was talking to Michael Shrieve, you know, and so.
Yeah, that. I think.
Well, you know,
I would separate that out from the stuff that I think the stuff where you were like, because I know how you think and I know how I think and I understand the whole vibe of you know, not being able to do what you once could do, but you still have the same spirit and mind is still really in the same place. So intention is everything. Kind of the way it goes. Remember how good Elvin's bass drum sounded that night? I thought I was gonna die, man. And he was like 6 months away from death, and it was like I thought I was gonna just die from that bass drums.
I know.
I thought, holy shit, he's like 1,000,000 years old. So I think like the Santana stuff.
Hey, he's not 1,000,000 years old, dude. He's like 4 years older than us at that time.
Oh, was that true?
Whoops. Yeah.
Right. Oh man.
But how about the stuff you think you peaked with Santana?
What's that?
Do you think Santana was your peak that you that was it?
No, not necessarily. But
the Stomu stuff's incredible.
Yeah,
well, it's really interesting. Yesterday I'm working, I'm this and this, and I just for the hell of it, I've got an Amazon Alexa here. Now that I say that, it's going to start talking to me.
But mine just went on.
Yeah, exactly right. So just for the hell of it, because I'm asking stuff like while I'm doing like certain kind of work, I'm saying, play me ambient film music, you know, or ambient soundtracks, and it starts playing like ambient soundtracks, you know, and I'm thinking, I love the future, and I've always wanted this, and so for the hell of it, I said, play Michael Shrieve, and what it did was it started playing not my solo stuff, but everything I've ever played on.
Oh my God!
And I was like, oh my God, right? And so it was like live in Paris and this and that, and I'm like, I don't even hardly remember this stuff because I never go back and listen, frankly. And so, but anyway, I've got a lot of stuff that I just think.
Do you have any
should be out
ghost?
there.
Do you have any ghost stuff with Patrick, with Gleason?
Any old stuff with Patrick?
Yeah, yeah, the ghost stuff when you guys played like the Bottom Line and stuff.
Oh, I don't know if that was ever recorded, frankly. And I left that tour, which really pissed a lot of people off, but I just wasn't going to do it under the circumstances that they were, you know. Stomu and I are all right, but you know, to crowd like a dozen people into like, you know, a stage that's 8x8, I just like, you know, get the fuck out of here. You know, this is like an important artist, and you know, you don't treat him like that. So, but I have other stuff with Patrick from a solo album that was never released, like before Polyphonic Synthesizers, when Patrick created an orchestral piece of a Stomu Yamashita piece before I met Stomu that I loved. And so he had to create the whole orchestra instrument by instrument.
One note, yeah. One note at a time, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That stuff's incredible, you know?
Oh, David, I gotta play a track that we did a gig, Patrick Gleason and Sam Morrison and myself. And there's a lot about it I didn't like, but I took all the elements and I made a piece, and Patrick hated it, mainly because I took out every one of his solos. And because and but it's so great, it's so cool. I'll send it to you. It's like a Tio Macero, like I chopped the whole thing and did this and that. A year later he called me, he said, I fucking listened to it again and you were right, and it sounds great. Do whatever you want with it. And because he's not a soloist, you know, but he played in Herbie's band a while, and so he's like, I'm the, you know, the white guy that hung with the brothers and this. And so, but he's not a soloist. But what he's brilliant at is doing synthesis, and now he's completely, everybody is into modular synthesis, right? And he used to have the huge EMU and everything. He doesn't bother with that. He's completely Ableton, you know? And,
Yep.
He said that's for kids, you know.
But people are really into that stuff now. They really are.
But yeah, David, what do you think about all that that resurgence of that kind of synthesis? I mean, I'm all for it because, you know, people are digging it, but what do you think?
You know, there's a lot that I like, and
yeah.
I think what I really like about it is it's not so much about the musical results, but what it's doing for the guitar community, because there's been an interface between modular and guitarists who use electronics, and
really?
Yeah, it's really kind of the stuff that I predicted 30 years ago is happening now in guitar. I mean, and part of that is fed by it's become almost like a combined community with the modulars. Like it's right on the it's right over the border of happening. It really started happening about maybe 10 years ago, and as pedals became much more sophisticated and pedal designers became much more sophisticated, and okay, so like my friend Gary Hall, who built that looping device for me, the Lexicon PCM 42 with all the thing that I did so much looping on, still do that. Yeah. He's a modular designer, so you can see all these little cracks all over the place, and it's doing exactly it's doing for the guitar community what I thought it would do 35 or 40 years ago when I looked at the picture and I went, it's not just about like heroic guitar player anymore. It's not about this anymore.
Yeah.
It just isn't. It's going to another place, and I'm
Yeah.
going with it, and
Yeah.
it makes me really happy that this shit is happening because my God, one of the best devices of the last 20 years came from a guitar pedal designer who built the most incredible looping device. And it was one more. I've got 3 similar devices. It started around 2007. A German guy built a device that did shit that I could only do on my computer. And I've been doing with computers since around 95, 94, doing like hard cutting, random cutting, controlling random cutting, figuring out you could actually control it, get rhythms out of it, make rhythms out of it, out of ambient material and all this stuff. And some dude in Germany had this pedal out, and I saw it and I went, what the fuck, dude? And I went and I called the guy. I helped him develop the pedal further. It became kind of an underground hit, way too expensive for most people, but I was working in film at that point, so I was
Had
just
some cash.
dude, if it was there and it was good, I bought it. I helped him grow the device into something even better, and that was the beginning trigger of this whole thing with guitars and looping. And the looping devices that I have now in pedal form, especially the one I got this year from France, it's like I probably wrote 20 pieces of music based on the fact that I could do all this shit in real time while I had a guitar in my hands. And it's really exciting.
I just completely get it, man. I want to ask you, David, are you familiar with a pop group called Sun Lux?
Again?
SONLUX.
No.
I want you to really check them out. And the guitar player is brilliant. He's got a solo album out of standards, but it ain't nothing like standards you've ever heard. But the drummer is one of my favorite. And they're just like, to me, they're like the epitome of like an exploratory group that, does, man, they're all firing. The singer is phenomenal. It's just really something. It's a trio.
Yeah, I see them. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
I figured pull them up while we're talking about it so I can see what's up. Yeah. I'll check.
Yeah, they're all exploratory, and it's really a pleasure to hear them. And I've seen them live too.
Yeah, so I'm still excited by the modular community because of all that. I see what it's doing for otherwise guitar players it's still wheedly. It's still, can you play these changes? It's still, more wheedly, and or it's just the old classic blues played really, really well, and I love all of it, but
yeah, I'm with you.
But there's a future, right?
I'm with you. It's like I have this video podcast with some great drummers. It's called Stick People, and it's like Lenny White and Mike Clark, David Garibaldi, and Gregorico from Sly and the Family Stone, and myself. So during the pandemic, because we're all based in the Bay Area except for Lenny, but he hung out there all the time. And he was like 20 years old, just like me, and 21. And so during the pandemic, we started Zooming 3 times a week. Like we just wanted to talk, and I recorded all of them. And we just enjoyed getting together. Now it's become like produced, and we have guests, like we had, like we had, well, what, all kinds of drummers. But now it's really produced and edited very well. We just had Eric Harland. It's going to come out in a few days.
Oh, I'm loving Eric Harland these days, man.
Oh my God, is he beautiful or what? Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll send you the episode. But anyway, we have a YouTube channel called Stick People, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up, except that I know why. It's because I'm so different than all of them.
Right.
I love that they're my brothers, right? But I mean, to them and everybody I've worked with in that realm, like the rock, I am just fucking out there, And I don't know, man. I love my world. I just love my world, like you love your world,
I'm definitely. I feel it's a strange thing to be, but I still feel if I look at it and I relax and I stop judging everything, I really feel comfortable in this outsider role. It doesn't. It's fine, as long as I'm working and being productive. I don't give a shit,
Right.
As soon as
Right.
I'm not productive, I bum out and I get angry and I get frustrated. But as soon as I'm productive,
You take it out on your dog. Yeah.
yeah, no, not on my dog. I'm more likely to take it out on my kids.
We didn't hear that. We didn't hear that.
No, it's not true.
Well, but David, you've been out there from day one, though, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I knew that I had to cultivate something of my own pretty young. I wasn't sure that I really was not sure that I was doing that until sometime around 1980 or so. Actually, no, it was based on some shit that I wrote in the 70s, like music that I actually composed for a band. And then I realized, okay, I'm not really interested in being inside I'm looking for something. I don't want to have to look at the boundaries that other people set up. I'm just looking for something.
And Michael, that's what you did when you left Santana.
Absolutely. I mean, immediately I started, what did I do? I went to, for 200 days of a year, I searched for this Japanese percussionist that like had a timpani stick in his mouth and leaping over the stage with full drums of a record I saw. And I thought, oh my God, I've gone through all the repertoire of drum solos and jazz and this and this. And you know how it is, David, you see something and hear something and you just connect, and you have a new path in life, period. Just like that. Yeah. And I realized I got to find this guy. And when I found him on the last day of a 240-day tour, literally, because we were paying back taxes that somebody fucked us over about, I met him in a Parisian hotel, and I had to go to his room, and he opened the door, and he was about 4 feet tall, and but he had the status and the stature of a guy 8 feet tall, right?
Right.
Like, hello, and I mean, this is the guy that like great composers of European music were writing percussion pieces for, who then left that world and started an avant-garde theater group, based in London.
Yeah.
And so we met like that, and he was by 2 hours later, we were both on the floor, like laughing, like drumming and doing this. And it's like, and his wife was born the exact same day as me. And there was a connection. And I fall in love with these people. I swear to God, I do. You know,
Yeah.
I really, it's love. It's so, my appreciation is so deep. I've come to realize it's the only word is love. I fall in love with these people who are so beautiful and so creative.
The only way you can make music, I think, and keep making it, Michael, is the love. If you don't, if that's not there, then you don't have it for the music. And you
Yeah.
know, and if you don't have it for the music, then you can't stay outside it, and you can't stay inside it. It's not happening, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's, or it wouldn't. All I could say is it wouldn't be worth it to most of my friends anymore at that point. If that love is gone, if it becomes something else, it's not worth it anymore. And it is. It is. I think it's like the little fire that ticks us along and ticks us along, and we forget about it, and then it kicks us in the ass one day where you go, "Holy shit, we did that. He did that. Oh my God." And you get that moment and go, right, I'm here. Fuck it, I'm here. This is it, right?
That's right. Yeah. I
How does
know.
it, guys, how does it
Is it-
feel when you listen and you say, I did it?
I sometimes, I'm most moved by my own stuff if I'm actually moved by it. Like I was listening to somebody else's music. If I hear something and I
Yeah. Yeah.
remember what I put into it and how far away it was from all the little things that bug you during the day of every day and all the bullshit and the money and fighting with women and children and animals and the world itself, that moment where you hear that and you did it and you're double moved by it because you can feel what you felt while it was occurring. You can feel it if it's just writing or if it's playing. It's the same thing. It's like, holy
Yeah.
shit. And I don't, because of that stuff, I never judge my own work as being good or bad and don't want to, but I know the stuff that I love the most is the stuff that I knew I put the most into, always. So I would say, I was going
Wow.
to say to you before that I really would like you to hear a couple of records that I know you haven't heard, Eliot. Like, I definitely think you should hear Presence,
I
which
have
was,
it. I have it.
you have that one?
Yeah,
I think you should hear the Splatter Cell discs,
I have
Oh,
it.
fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
and I think you should hear What Means Solid Traveler. Do you have that one?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
That
that's
was,
brilliant. Yeah. I love all those records.
but remember What Means Solid Traveler? That was a moment for me where I just went, I don't have any, I just don't, there are no boundaries on me that
I'm
I don't
free.
give myself,
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
I just
That was
could
a
go.
beautiful time. That was a beautiful time. And the musicians you were working with and collaborating with were, you were all attuned. And even the title, like for years, that title has stuck with me. It's just like it's so cosmic. You know what I mean? I mean, we are travelers, and
You know where
I,
it came from, Michael, right? It was one of those, when you're traveling by yourself on planes a lot and with no buddies, no friends, but you're just traveling, traveling, traveling. I was on a plane and I was like, I was doing some kind of little meditation and I went into that like almost complete dispersion thing where like, everything felt like a molecule or something, and I
yeah,
just
yeah,
like part of these spinning molecules, and I went, well, really, like this is not. It wasn't meant to be negative. It's like what I'm like a traveler, and like nothing is solid, like I'm just traveling. That's all I do. I only travel, and I'm thinking, yeah, when I'm home, when I'm with people, I'm not really there. I'm really on the move somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's so out. I never.
Oh, no,
I
I
don't
get
think I
it.
ever
I
said
get
anything
it so hard. I just,
about that, you know?
See,
yeah.
okay, now, Michael, getting back to you now, Transfer Station was your first out of the box album, right?
Yeah, but guys, I'm gonna have to leave. I promised my wife that she's dealing with some stuff, and so I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm going to have to say goodbye.
Okay.
Well met. And yes,
Just before you leave, when you put out Transfer Station, did you,
Yeah.
was that a whole different, I mean, that was out of the box at the time.
Well,
Nobody was-
for me, okay. So this is what happens. This is what happens when you follow your heart, and I pursue a guy like Stomu Yamashita, and I'm pursuing him because I want to do avant-garde percussion. That's why I pursued him.
Right.
I wanted to do what he was doing. What he was in the middle of doing already was he wanted to do a pop record, and he already had Steve Winwood, and he already had this guy I never heard of named Klaus Schultze. And so this is what happens. Like, I mean, so I go to London, I'm doing Automatic Man at the same time as Stomu, because they're on the same label. Chris Blackwell signed both of them. And then I walk in this room, and there's this guy with these keyboards, and like Moog, and I'd never heard anything like it in my life. And I just realized, oh my God. So because of Stomu, I met well, a lot of people. I mean, I could go on and on about Stomu Yamashita, like how people used to come visit him, like film directors and fashion designers, and I mean, big people, you know? And what I learned from Stomu is you do interesting stuff and you will meet interesting people. You know, that's how you meet them. Just do it. And, you know, I mean, and you attract. And so I started listening to Klaus Schultze records, and I found out he's quite popular. And I love the sequences, you know, the sequencers. I was like, you know, it's like, oh yeah. But every time the drums came in, I was like, oh. So my whole thing with Klaus was, please let me come over and let's do something. No, not to put anybody down, but, and so I go over there and I make this record, but I never played drum set on it. You know, I just played like timbales and cowbells and some electronic stuff. But to me, I'm still that way. Like even this Drums of Compassion record I have coming out, there's pieces where I'm not even on, you know? It's like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. You know, I want to present a journey, and it's not about me, you know? So anyway, yeah. Man, I love both you guys. I do have to leave. David Torn, you and me aren't finished. We gotta exchange links and musicians and share that. And Eliot, thank you so much, brother, for doing this.
Glad you were able to.
Dude.
Also,
Yeah, dude, we haven't said dude once.
I'll give David the link so you guys can share what you have to. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys.
We'll get that done. Michael, be good. I'll talk to you during the week.
You bet. Take care,
Okay.
guys.
Be good.
Bye, man.
Okay,
All right,
David.
Dave.